Shut up and sit down.
Howdy guys, it's Andy from Big Mac's Workshop and Painting Studio, and it is White Dwarf time. This is June's White Dwarf. Now there's been a bit of a delay with White Dwarfs as GW I've decided that they're changing the release dates for them. For now in the middle of the month rather than the beginning. Don't know the reasoning why. I'm sure they have reasons, but they have not involved us in the decision making process. So on to it then. As you can tell, there's a lot of Age of Sigmar Fire Slayer related stuff. So we're just going to get straight into it and let's have a look at what they've got in store for us. So first things first, onto the letters. Got a young lad here, brand new starter, and he has got all kinds of new toys. He's got himself involved in Age of Sigmar with a whole load of stuff. So good on him. Good to see loads of new players, including Frederick Sulim from Sydney. And also got a bit of a query from Sam Davis about the glowing plasma effects on the Warlord Titan from Adeptus Mechanicus. So we're giving him a bit of a heads up and a rough idea of how to do it in very simple terms. So good luck GW for that. So next bit is Reader's Models. This guy is Mark Korogiannis. I do apologise to you if I've managed to butcher your name, which I'm pretty certain I will have done. This is a very cool looking Nurgle, Demon and Death Guard army. I do really like the Death Guard Marines. Done a nice job on them, kid. They are great models across the board, to be fair. Although I'm not a fan on the model for the Beast of Nurgle. The Beast of Nurgle model is a bit meh. However, paint job, nice work. So good to see some of that. And now it's Phil Kelly's talking about the World of Warhammer, and now this is all about the Chaos Realms, talking about all about the weird mortal realm situation you've got in AOS, and how they are lived in, really, I suppose. So talking about all that. Some nice artwork, and now we're into the meat and veg of it. This is Fire Slayer stuff. So we've got a short story based on a Fire Slayer dude. Skip through that, and we're on to the Realm of Beasts. So we're continuing on with that arc of descriptions of the various different realms. So Realm of Beasts, which is the realm of Gur, the symbol is an arrow. I do remember the old lore of beasts in Fantasy Battle being very cool. I use it quite a lot. And we're also giving you ideas on how to paint an army representative of the realm of beasts, as they all seem to have their own little things about them, and tend to the realms do tend to affect the paint schemes of the models. So some more models from the Realm of Beasts, some viewer models even. So we've got the Troggoth from Shadespire, a lovely model there, and we've got a griffin, a two-headed griffin, but painted up like a parrot rather than an eagle, which is an interesting take on things. Nice bit of creativity there, nice work. More converting work. Nice to see. It's always nice to see some conversions. Some nice little bit of green stuff on there. No real huge conversions. Just a few little bits and pieces just to make it look a bit more interesting. And we're also talking about basing the models using various different medium, such as our own texture paint, and giving the models the appropriate colour scheme. So, rules of engagement. So we've got some of our own little alterations to the evolution of your own characters. These are the Trials of Skulls, so Cornate characters, Cornate name generators and title generators. It's definitely something I'm going to look at because as a World Eater player, it'd be nice to throw a few of these together to get some interesting character names. Some interesting little ideas on how to lay the characters out. And the Tome Celestial. This is all about one particular lodge of Fire Slayers. And it's quite extensive, so we're going to be talking a hell of a lot about this particular Fire Slayer lodge. And as we get further on, we're going to start getting to the Age of Myths and onto War Scrolls. So you've got their own War Scrolls here for this particular lodge. The War Scroll Battalion takes so this the Grand Fjord is you add 1 to hit for attacks made with weapons from melee weapons. In addition, if the target's a chaos unit, you can reroll 1s on wounds, which I should imagine is very tasty. And you've got the smaller detachments as well. So the Lords of Vostarg, once per battle, hero can use his command ability without using command points. So free command abilities, always handy. The Warrior Kinband is to add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons used by Volkite Berserkers, whilst within 12 inches of the Auric Runeson. And the Forged Brethren is Auric Hearthguard from this battalion. Is wholly within 12 inches of Durgan when he uses his Magma Prayer of Runic Empowerment ability. The prayer is answered on a 2 rather than a 3. So it's always nice to get these little bonuses as well. So I'm not sure if this is an actual special character or just a reprint of a generic Magmadroth. But we've got the full data slate for a Magmadroth on there as well. So some more battles, some specific scenarios for you to play. Always good to see extra scenarios. I do like to play narrative games from time to time. And the paint splatter for these particular guys. Now, unsurprisingly, this is largely a contrast paint idea. And let's face it, that's not to be unexpected. Also giving you ideas on how to do the lava base idea as well. So contrast paint, if you're unaware, is brand new and it's designed to do a lot of the work what you have to do with additional layers, and it does it itself largely. But it doesn't make the finished event, the finished figure. So you do have to go back and do the highlights and such, but it does make life a little bit easier for you. So full on paint splatter on this particular dude. And now on to 40k. So Robin Cruddas is talking about the Gene Stealer cults and the idea of how they were built and what came into their designing features. So Warlords of Vigilus, Tale 4 Warlords. And we have a bit of a kill team sort of theme on this one. So we've got a Gene Stealer cult film. I do like their vehicles. The bike dudes are pretty cool. And this guy on a quad is a really interesting model. It looks like he's wearing a spacesuit, which is kind of cool. So nice models on the Gene Stealer cults. I do like them. Got a Black Legion Bringers of Despair kill team. So it's a squad of Chaos Terminators and a Master of Executions. Also, quick paint splatter on how to paint black simply. Got an Orc Warband of vehicles, and he's going on. It does go on to talk about the checkers on here on the models, and interestingly, if you use nail art stencils, you do get nice, easy checks So it's definitely something we'll have to look at in the near future to get a nice smooth checker finish. So more basing systems alongside the Raven Guard, which are themed around the Reaver type models. And again, simple bases done using the various different texture paints. So I've got another short story based in 40k, somewhere on a planet in the Imperium Nihilus, should I say? And a battle report. So this is Ultramarines versus Genestealer cults. Got specific missions, what they were using for this particular thing. Again, as I said, I do like using the narrative missions, what they use. It's really kind of cool to throw things around, make things a little bit different from time to time. So this particular battle, as I said, is Genestealer cult versus Ultramarines, and it's 130 power, so that's around about 2,500 points, if I don't miss my guess. So big old armies. Interesting to see there's no vehicles apart from one Redemptor Dreadnought in the Space Marine army. So there's quite a lot of bodies on the ground. And the Genestealer cult have got a couple of vehicles in there, which is good to see. Plus one of those groovy sharpshooter dudes with 3 hands, which is a very cool model. And from what I can tell, is pretty tasty. It's nice to see that. The Ultramarines is led by Marnius rather than Gilliman, and obviously the Genestealer cult is led by a Patriarch. So I'm not going to spoil it for you by telling you the results, so we'll just skip straight to the end. And now we're talking about the Demons of Slaanesh. So I'm sure you guys have all seen the very, very nice models of the new demons. The Keeper of Secrets in particular is really nice, and they've been generous enough to give us the full data slates for the new demons. So the Keeper of Secrets, really fast, but he does appear to be made of glass. No real saves to speak of. It does now have kind of a feel no pain, which is improved against mortal wounds. So he's got 6 up against regular wounds and 5 up against mortals. He's only got 6 up save, but he's a demon, so we'll have a 5 up as well. But they do hit really hard. Mesmerising Aura, when resolve an attack with a melee weapon against this model, subtract 1 to hit, so it's hard to hit, in close combat at least. And they reroll 1s to wound as well. Also has an opportunity to regenerate wounds for killing stuff in combat. So yeah, this guy is very fast, a movement of 14, so he can get across the table. And he's also a Psyker, which is going to help a hell of a lot. So now we've got the Shalaxi Hellbane, which is the special character Keeper of Secrets. Much the same sort of stat line as the regular Keeper of Secrets. His most notable difference is his weapon, which is a spear. The Soul Pierce is strength of ×2, -4 AP, d6 damage. When resolving an attack made with this weapon against a character on a wound of 6+, on a wound roll of 6+, the damage has a characteristic of 6. So get them 6s in there, and he really starts to make a dent in your character's day. So normal demonic abilities. He's got the Mesmerising Aura as well as the same as the regular one. Cloak Constriction is the same effect of Mesmerising Aura, but versus wound rolls, making him even more annoying to kill in close combat. And he does have a 6-inch heroic intervention, but only against characters. Then you've got the Demon Prince dude, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce. Is a very interesting character. He's got a whole load of aura rules, and with him only being an 8 wound character, you can't pick him out. He does hit really hard. So he's got the Locus of Sunesh like a Herald would. He's got the reroll ones like a Demon Prince would. You can reroll morale tests for him, for units around him, which again is very handy. In close combat, he's got 8 attacks, which is quite tasty. And the first, he also activates twice, as it seems. The first time this model fights in each fight phase, it can make attacks with either its Scourging Whip or its Axe of Dominion. The first time this model finishes a consolidation move in each fight phase, it can then choose a new target and resolve the combat attacks again. But when it does so, all of its attacks must be made with the other weapon. If the model charges turn, these attacks can only target the units that it declared the charge in the previous phase. So it does get to fight twice, but he uses different weapons each time, which is still very, very cool. So we've got a new date slate for the mask. I do not know how it compares to the original one. It does look like she's pretty much the same. And we've got the Contorted Epitome, which is some kind of cavalry unit. Now I'm guessing it's the weird mirror thing there, but I could be wrong. I'm not totally sure what that is. So it is a HQ. Comes in at a power 10, which is 195 points. Fairly tough, very high, resilient model. Toughness 5 with 8 wounds. And let's see what it does. So it's got only 2 attacks, so it's not particularly good in combat. Although Ravaging Claws, when the bearer fights, it may make 8 additional attacks with his weapon, which is pretty nice. Locus of Sunesh add 1 strength. Gift of Power, when a psychic test is taken for this model, add 1 to the total. When a Deny of a Witch test is taken for this model, add 1 to the Deny. So it's also a Psyker, getting a +1 bonus on all psychic tests. Nice. If this model suffers a mortal wound, it would, on a roll of a d6, so that wound's not lost. 2+, that wound's not lost. And if an enemy unit within 6 inches of any models in your army with this ability is chosen to fall back, your opponent rolls 3 dice. If they're equal to or greater than the highest leadership characteristic in the unit, that unit is stuck. So very similar to Scarfran's ability there as well. And obviously we've got all the new points costs for the extra bits and pieces. So it turns out that the Shining Aegis is actually a upgrade, which replaces the whip. So some kind of shield, kind of cool. So Jade Claire talking about new rules for Middle Earth, including a couple of new missions. So it's always good to see these. And now onto the licensed games, which is this month is talking about Chaos Bane, which is a strategy game based in the realms of Age of Sigmar or possibly Warhammer Fantasy. On to Kill Team now, and Kill Team and Blackstone Fortress are getting extra missions, including various different rules such as visibility and point blank firing and such. So we've got a whole load of missions there, and including more stuff to use the Amble with as well. I mean, for Blackstone Fortress, got a new templates for your gaming areas, and again more missions on all that as well. So glory points for Night Vault, which is combos. So he's Dave Sanders is talking about combos in Nightvolt. So for you Nightvolt players out there will be interested in that, I should imagine, to see what he suggests, if it meshes up with what you have already learnt. And Halflings on Blood Bowl. So in Blood Bowl, Halflings are pretty much the worst team in the game, but their models are great. I mean, there's one dude wearing a squirrel as a helmet, and what's not to like about that? So, as Halflings are traditionally rubbish at pretty much everything, there's very little you can do to win with Halflings. However, just looking at the models, they are absolutely brilliant. Pardon me. So, a bit of a discussion about the Halflings and how to get them to work. And now it's Black Library, and it's Aaron Dembski-Bowden talking about his experiences through writing 40k and GW novels. So, moving on. A bit of another short story, bit of fiction, about the Emperor's Spears. And that is it. Now it's just a couple of photos about the studio and what they're getting up to, and some other bits and pieces, including a giant moon thing for the Gloomspire goblins. And that is it. That is White Dwarf. So clearly, there's a bit in there for everybody. Obviously, Age of Sigmar Fireside players are going to get a hell of a lot out of this one. As are any guys who have got any interest in 40k Slaanesh. So it's definitely worth picking up if they're your factions of choice. As always, thank you guys for watching this video and sticking with us for the last 25 minutes or so. And I've got some special thank yous to make for our Patreons. So that is massive thank yous to the Orc Boys, Matt, Ludwig Hofbauer, Warren, D-Wack, Kit Lindquist, Aquas of Dawn, and Mark. You're our top paying Patreons. If you want to join us on Patreon, help support our channel and get the benefits for everything we do earlier, check out the link below. We do have multiple tiers, from as little as $1 a month. Just everything helps, keeps us going, and allows us to make more quality content and improve our prize pools for our monthly giveaways. Also, thank you to The Outpost. Check them out on our affiliate link below. Anything you buy through The Outpost is at a reduced rate, and if you use our affiliate link when purchasing, we will get a 5% store credit as well at no cost to you guys. So you get reduced price models, and we get a bit of store credit to help us out as well. So thank you for that, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra.